Murphy, the Red Pill rapper on Redpillnation.ca. Welcome back to another episode of the frickin' Red Pill Rapper Show, man. Oh, does it ever feel good to be here? Now, I got to tell you about my sponsor, which is me, man. It's just me. It's just Redpillnation.ca. Head there, get the merch, get the album. You guys know what it is. I'm not going to waste any more time. We got a very special guest with us today, and he is Pat King. Oh my gosh, he's here. Pat, what are you doing, man? What is going on?
Oh, it sounds like I'm attempting to unite the country and inspire some people, but it seems there's a lot of people that don't want to be inspired.
How dare you? How dare you try to do such things? Because, man, I've been trying to keep up, and I don't know how you do this stuff because you're busier than I am, man. We were just at Chris Guy's birthday event, running all over the place. You're like, what? Can you just kind of lay out what has happened? Because you're not doing normal stuff out there. You're doing some real patriot business.
Well, we went to court, and what I was able to do was get them on the record saying that they didn't have the material evidence that I've requested. At the meantime, they still squashed the subpoena. I still lost in court. I still have to pay a $1,200 fine. But what I did was finally get them on the record stating this. Now, everybody such as Rebel News, Mark Friesen, a couple other people are trying to just tear it apart. This other guy I just seen on Twitter, they're trying to tear it apart. I'm not responsible for what somebody puts as a headline on their show. And as for that headline, it's not my thing. But everybody's saying, oh, I didn't do it. I never said I did. What I said was I have them on the record stating that there is no proof of the coronavirus. Mm-hmm. And that's the truth. Now we've got people who say they fight for freedom, but are trying to do everything they can to thwart what I did. And that's fine. I've openly called out Mark and asked him if he wants to go on a live feed and do this together. I've openly asked a few other people, like, let's get on there. I told the Rebel News, let's do a live feed. They're taking half of what I put out. I put out a little tidbit just to show people where we were at with this. I meet with people tomorrow to get all the information and have it readily available for everybody across the country, across the world. And that's what I said. But in the meantime, we've got people such as these, and I want to call them assholes, I pardon my language, but these assholes who are standing on the lines of patriotism, but yet are doing the first thing they can to tear something that's actually inspirational and motivational apart. So I sit here tonight, and, it's 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night where I'm at, and I look at things and I'm, you ask yourself, why do you do what you do? And this is exactly why I do what I do. I do this because I want to get the information out to the people, but I can't stand back and watch people totally try and trash you after trying to do something great, after trying to do something awesome. It's not something that I claim that I did. I never claimed that I did it. I claimed that this was my experience. This is what happened. And this is what I got. This was the end result. That's all I ever said. We had him in court. Like, there's no lying. There's nothing. We have the transcripts. We're getting them first thing tomorrow morning. And of course, once again, you've got people whose egos are too big and they feel that they don't have, I'm not going to lie. They weren't the ones that got the mainstream media attention. So now they're all butthurt. And unfortunately, I'm the brunt end of it because, well, these people are what I think is 100% not in this for the right reasons. And unfortunately, I'm the one getting the brunt end of the stick.
Well, yeah, man, it's very interesting because I know for myself, I try to walk a fine line because my whole thing is like, for me personally, is that I want to just be like an artist that is accommodating to this new culture. You know what I mean? I want to perform at Chris Guy's birthday party and PPC events. And so I know a lot of different people, and I know you, and I know some of these guys in the PPC, and I'm seeing a lot of this stuff. What I'm seeing a lot of is a lot of people saying what you have said, but not giving an accurate recollection of it. And I'm seeing a lot of people making claims about what you've done that actually don't line up with what you've said. So what I'm hoping we can do tonight, Pat, and I'm so glad that you came on, man. Like, I really appreciate it. What I'm hoping you can do is if you could just start from the very beginning, from why you got that $1,200 fine to where we are today. So like, what did you do? What did you try to do? And what is the end result? Like, what has actually happened? Because I'm hoping I can get it straight from the source and just get your take on what's gone down here.
It's the same that I said on Stu Peters' show. It's the same that I said on InfoWars. It's the same that I said on Patriot Media. The same thing. December 5th, I received a ticket. Got a ticket for being in a group larger than 10, contravening the public health order. I got into court. Now, here's where everybody is saying, well, this isn't just something that, they've been talking since July 1st that this happened. Well, I was in court in May the 4th, May the 18th. I was in court 2 days, May the 4th, May the 18th, in court, back and forth. And I asked for these documents. I asked for the request of these documents, which is the isolation of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. The first time I asked for it, I got shut out of court. Next time I get the opportunity to go to court in July, I go to court. Then I'm hit with an injunction. I'm hit with a what they call a jurisdictional challenge, meaning that the way I went about my subpoena was wrong, and that a justice of the peace doesn't have the authority to subpoena a government official. So I'm wrong, and that's fine. But what I do have is I have them saying the chief medical officer of health does not have the material evidence I provide that I've requested. And the material evidence that I requested was the isolation of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Now, I asked 3 times to the judge to have the judge to reiterate, Your Honor, I just want this on the record, for the record. Are they saying that they do not have the material evidence? They do not have the evidence I'm requesting. And the judge openly says, yes, they don't. Wow. And I'm like, wow, okay. That's all I wanted. That's all I ever wanted. I knew I was guilty of the ticket according to their laws. I knew that. I was never contesting that. They had me on camera standing in a group larger than 10. What I wanted to get was the proof that there was no virus. And that's all we were trying to obtain. So we did. And what you're seeing on Rebel, what you're seeing, and this is the other part. They brought in 2 attorney generals from Ottawa, and it changed from Dina Hinshaw versus Patrick King to Her Majesty the Queen versus Patrick King. So now we got 2 attorney generals from Ottawa inside the meeting, or inside the courtroom, and they're saying their stuff too. And what they say, I can't even really repeat what they said because I don't really remember. But I remember how they said, Your Honor, we have thousands upon thousands of tickets about to come out that the results from this court case could damage those court cases. Therefore, we ask for the quashing of the subpoena with Dina Hinshaw. So they do, but not without 2 procedural violations. They subpoenaed me on a Sunday morning at 11:53 in the morning. They subpoenaed me less than 24 hours to be in court to quash the subpoena. So all people are seeing right now is the Monday prior to the trial. All they're seeing is Monday's court case and what happened back in May.
Right.
And the downfall is these people are trying to discredit me, and that's fine. Go ahead, pick it apart. But go ahead and pick it apart when you have all the evidence. They don't have all the evidence. They don't have any of it. They don't know what they're talking about. They're only talking about the subpoena half of it. They're not talking about what happened in the trial, the me on the stand. They don't have any of the judge's opinions or the judge's verdict. They don't have any of that. Now, they're even going around saying that my ticket was thrown out. It was never thrown out. Like, this is how bad it's got. And in my mind, I look at this and I just go, who are these people? Like, it's bad enough that we're in a situation we are in here in Canada, but somebody tries to do something good and people are taking it and they're looking at it going, wow, this man actually did this. He actually asked for the proof and they never gave him the proof. He did it without lawyers. He did it without JCCF. He did it without Rebel Media helping them with the fines. He did this all by himself. And I think that's the inspirational part that everybody is biting onto. They're all holding on to the fact that he did it himself. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what we were trying to show, is that people can do this themselves. You see, JCCF has a hidden thing underneath when they take these tickets on. JCCF says if any time that these tickets become a civil lawsuit, we receive all funds. So if they go to a lawsuit, they get all the money. That's what it means. And Rebel's doing the same thing. Now, what they're pissed off about, and I really feel that this is why they're pissed off, I did it myself. I'm trying to teach people how to do it themselves. I basically laid the foundation for the next person to take this even a few steps further and actually knock this out of the park. Mm-hmm. But what I think is these guys are caught. They've been caught and they know what's going to happen. They're going to have all these people fight it themselves. They're not going to get JCCS help, or are they going to get anybody else's help? And these guys are going to lose out on millions of dollars. And that's what's going to happen. And we are laying the foundation right now for people to move forward. And eventually, once this does get opened up and it does get broke, and they do know, and they know, like, you don't bring in 2 attorney generals from Ottawa for a $1,200 ticket. There's a reason why they were in there. They knew what we were doing. They knew what was going on. They've been known of that since May. They've known all about this. And I feel what they're doing is these guys are trying to backpedal and protect themselves. So what do they got to do? They got to try and discredit what I did. And you know what? I had a lot of respect for Mark Friesen. He even sat in Kelowna with me when I was in Kelowna and spoke and gave me props and everything. Now what you're seeing is you're seeing their true colors coming out. You're seeing them tell the common guy, the everyday Joe, the man that's kind of, he's just a guy or whatever. They're trying to step on his credibility. They're trying to step on everything that he's done because they want to be seen in the spotlight as the ones who did this. They want to be the ones in the spotlight to say that they were the ones that broke the freedom, broke the chains and got Canada back their freedom. I never asked for that. I don't want that. What I want to do is inspire people to get up and do it on their own and do it for themselves, because that's what's going to win this. The way we're going to win this is if people get up off their asses, do it themselves, and not put hope and faith into another washed up politician who is trying to just carry on and keep his pension, to a washed up jail guard who thinks he's, the man, the legend, the myth himself, but has to tear other people down in order, he's got to knock people down so he can use them as a step up. It's just become so ridiculous in the last few days that it's made me want to actually say, fuck it, I'm done. I just tried to say, I tried to do something good for people, but then people want to step all over me. It's been pretty bad. I never asked for this. I never wanted this. The video went out and that's what happened. So I ran with it. And if you look at every video I've done, from Stu Peters to InfoWars to Patriot Media to a few other ones that I've done, even on Laura Lynn Thompson, you see it all over there. I never once say I won. I never once say, I tell everybody I didn't win. What I did, though, was get them on record stating that they don't have the evidence. That's more than a win. In the court of public opinion, that's a freaking win. So...
Okay, so now what I'm wondering is there seems to be a link between, like, a very short time frame from when you walked out of that courtroom to when Alberta said, we're going to treat this like it's the flu. So what's the deal there? Was that did your case just scare the pants off these guys, or what happened?
Well, I'm telling everybody the same thing. It is a coincidence, but I really don't think it's a coincidence. I really don't. Because I know I put the fear of God in them. I know I did. And then when these transcripts come out and people read them and they see what I did, I can't wait, because these people such as Mark Friesen, these people such as Rebel Media, Sheila Gunn, David Menzies, David Menzies and Sheila Gunn Reid, 2 of the Rebel reporters who say they have no idea who I am. Right there, they're lying, because they've interviewed me many times. They know who I am.
Everybody knows who you are.
Well, exactly, right? Like, and Sheila especially, she interviewed me when I tried to catch Trudeau in Edmonton. She knows who I am. Now, that being said, I look at it as this. If people are against the fact that somebody might have done something good, then who really are they? Really, who are they? Because we've inspired a lot of people to stand up and start doing this on their own. We've inspired people to get up and, start asking questions of their government officials. There's nothing wrong with that. Why do you want to step on the guy who tried to make people to do that? Why?
So am I understanding this right, Pat, that you got a $1,200 fine for standing in a crowd of more than 10 people? You're at a freedom rally. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
And so you said, okay, I'll take your fine. You said, I'll pay your fine. Just prove to me that there's a deadly pandemic. Is that kind of the gist? And they said, and they said in court, and I quote, they said, the CMOH has no material evidence.
Correct.
So what is the CMOH? What is that?
Chief Medical Officer of Health.
Okay. And so could that mean that because something Bonnie Henry's lawyer said is she didn't have time to gather any evidence. So could that mean that's like a politician's slip, right? But what I'm reading here seems a little different. What you came across seems to be a bit more heavy hitting. So like, do you think that that's how they're going to try to play it off? Is it, oh, we have the evidence, we just didn't bring it, or what's the deal?
No, they don't have the evidence, because actually 2 days ago in Ireland, they did the same thing in the courts in Ireland, and the judges in Ireland said the same thing. They don't have the evidence.
Wow, man.
It's just happened. Like, it's not a coincidence. I'd love to say it was a coincidence, but it's not. Mm-hmm. And I know that they've been attempting to quash this for a long time. Now everybody's saying, well, this just happened on July 1st. They talked about opening up stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Been in court since May. And I've been asking this material since May. What I'm seeing is people, I don't know, just sad. They're sad people, man. Sad people. Like InfoWars, I say it right on InfoWars. I say it to Stu Peters. I say it to everybody. I didn't win. I never once said I won.
Right.
And I even said it on the original video. I lost. I lost my court case. Nobody wants to look at that. What they're wanting to look at is the credibility of the person who's saying it. Mm-hmm. And it's sad. And unfortunately, and I'm absolutely unfortunately to say this, it showed me the true colors of who these people are. And if you want me to put me in, and this is exactly why we're in the situation we're in. We have wannabe politicians who think they know everything and think they're going to save the world. Well, in truth of the fact, politicians had 2 decades, 3 decades to make a difference, and they didn't. And now the people don't want them anymore. Now they're clinging on to something that they're hoping is going to, give them some kind of uplift in the population and say, oh, these are the guys. Well, that same system is going to be the same system that they get into. It's going to be the same way. Every politician, we learned in the Little Child case that every politician can say whatever he wants on his voting campaign. But as soon as he gets in, he signs that oath to the Queen, mm-hmm. and they follow in line like the rest of every other politician. Just, yep, here we go. And they got to drill and follow the mandate.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like, because you're saying a lot, I feel like for the listeners, I should clarify my position so I don't seem like too much of a wishy-washy, all over the place guy. Like, because the way I see it is that I do think there's a lot of opportunists that are kind of rearing their ugly head a little bit. But with that being said, my take on it is kind of that, like, if I see somebody in my riding that is running for a party that has no party whip, and I like what they're saying, and I have their phone number, I'll vote for them. That's kind of my take, but that's like, because to me, that's just a net positive. That's gonna help, but it's not gonna save this country. No. It takes individuals standing up. It takes unified civil non-compliance. It takes individuals doing things to really make a difference. So like, I've got all the love in the world to a lot of these PPC guys, but I think that a lot of what you're saying is an important message. I do, even if it's even if I don't fall in line with 100% of what you're saying, I'm sure glad that you're saying it, Pat, and I'm glad that you're saying it on my show. You know what I mean?
It's actually kind of funny because now Mr. Friesen has just messaged me finally after a week, and he says we're going live tomorrow evening at 7 p.m.
Oh, you heard it here first, everybody. Oh, that's gonna be juicy. I can't wait to hear that. Hey, if you guys need a moderator, you can always get the Red Pill rapper in there, hey? Because I like Mark, man. I've always liked Mark Friesen. I've always liked him too. And
you know what? Mark and I got a lot of history together.
I know.
And for him to say what he's doing to me and to watch this, it's like watching your best friend stab you in the back, and you're watching it happen and you can't do anything about it. So unfortunately, hopefully we'll be able to set the record straight tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be able to, break bread and get it done with, and hopefully shut them up for a little bit. The downfall is I don't see that. What I see is defense right now. I see them on the defense. It's pretty sad. And you should see how many of the PPC members who have actually reached out to me and asked me to give them my information and help and share and everything, So
yeah,
unfortunately, I feel that the name calling and the back talking and the bullshit has gone on way too long. And I'm a man of my word. I'll stand there and I'll take the punches. I'll even throw the punches. But at the same time, I'll never go down, and I will always go down fighting. And if this is what the case is, this is how it's going to be, I look forward to it. I really do, because I'm sick and tired of watching these things get torn apart. And we get one step ahead, and we start inspiring and motivating people, and then somebody knocks it down 10 steps. And this division between everybody has got to stop. It's got to stop. It has to stop. And unfortunately, what happened with Mark is he took half the message and ran with it. That's all it was. They took half the message and ran with it.
Well, yeah, man. And you know what? If you want to be the People's Party of Canada, you better understand that you're asking to work for the people. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, a politician is somebody that the people give a little pat on the head to when they do a good job, not the other way around. And it's important. It's guys like you, even if you're a little rough and a little mean, Pat, I think guys like you are so important, because these politicians and people that want to be politicians, if you want to be a populist hero, if you want to be a populist leader, you have to appease the people, and you have to appease true populist leaders like you, Pat, because as far as I can tell, you started off by leading this yellow vest movement and being an advocate for Alberta oil. You led the convoy right to Ottawa, right to Justin Trudeau's front steps, and you've been out here day one of these freedom rallies, man. You're a true populist leader and a true populist hero, and these politicians, they should be bending the knee to guys like you, man, not the other way around. So I can't wait to listen to that tomorrow night. And thanks so much for coming on, Pat. Is there anything else you wanted to get out while you're here?
No, just the fact that don't ever trust a politician. Number one way to tell a politician's lying, their lips are moving. So watch tomorrow night. Watch what happens tomorrow night. And I feel very confident. Actually, that just set me right at ease. Now I could probably go to sleep, because I'm pretty livid right now. I'm actually really livid, to the point that I almost took a ride to Saskatoon. That's how bad. And I'm that guy. I don't care.
I know you are. Oh, geez. Well, you're the best, Pat. Thanks for all your work, man. Appreciate it. And say no to globalist news, everybody, and buy the merch at Redpillnation.ca. All right.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Absolutely.